Many of us spend hours every day in a cycle of rapid-fire swiping. We move through disconnected fragments of comedy, news, and trends in a constant search for the next hit of digital stimulation. Then, without warning, the rhythm breaks. A dark, high-contrast video appears, paired with an aggressive, bass-heavy funk track and a single ancient line of scripture. These viral interruptions are finding a massive audience among Gen Z, a demographic that reports higher levels of isolation than any previous generation. The same digital platforms once used exclusively for entertainment have become a primary site for a generational search for purpose. While this digital interest grows, physical institutions are seeing the opposite effect. Traditional church buildings are emptying out, with many congregations struggling to fill pews that were packed just decades ago. Older outreach attempts, like hand-waved posters and brightly colored welcome signs, often feel out of touch to an audience that expects high-end production and fast-paced editing. This gap has created the algorithm of grace, where ancient theology is repackaged into the hyper-stimulating, sensory-rich formats that social media thrives on. The message hasn't changed, but the delivery system has been optimized for the speed of the modern attention economy. This new style, often called Christcore, rejects the bright, welcoming imagery of the past. It favors a dark, mysterious aesthetic of flickering candles and shadows to make faith feel ancient and serious. Creators time their edits so that a high-impact visual, like a fracturing marble statue, hits the screen exactly on a heavy musical bass drop. This synchronization of visual peaks with low-frequency audio triggers a physiological dopamine response. The brain registers this sudden intensity and creates a strong emotional association with the religious text on screen. For many young men, these aggressive, spiritual warrior edits provide a traditional anchor in a culture where masculine identity feels increasingly ill-defined. Other creators use a lo-fi approach, featuring soft rain and quiet piano tracks. These videos act as a digital sedative, designed to offer a moment of relief from the anxiety of the feed. By focusing on sensory impact, these edits bypass intellectual debate and attempt to evoke a feeling of awe directly through the nervous system. For decades, religious broadcasting was the domain of massive, centralized TV studios and professional production crews. Now, a single creator in a bedroom can reach millions by combining scripture with high-retention visuals, like video game parkour or cinematic movie clips. When a user stops scrolling or hits like on a verse, the system tags their profile and measures retention down to the millisecond. This creates a closed loop. The algorithm prioritizes these interests, filling the feed with religious content and limiting exposure to other viewpoints. Spiritual influence is no longer held exclusively by institutions, but by the creators who best navigate these algorithmic feedback loops. The danger of this format is fast food spirituality. Complex theological ideas are often stripped of their historical context to fit into a 10-second motivational quote. Some accounts use this for engagement farming, creating clickbait prophecies that promise a personal message to the viewer if they simply comment or share. However, the community also self-corrects. New discernment channels have emerged to fact-check viral claims and debate theology directly in the comment sections. This decentralized system leads to frequent misinterpretation, but it has also created a new form of peer-reviewed religious education. Paradoxically, this digital trend is driving interest back toward physical objects. Sales of printed Bibles have seen a significant resurgence among younger buyers. Worshippers now use smartphones to document the same physical liturgies and ancient settings they first discovered through a social media feed. A viral video can provide an initial spark of interest, but deep quiet and reflection remain the traditional goals of the religious experience. Effective religious content achieves its purpose when it gives the viewer a reason to